Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. How are you doing today? It's been kind of muggy and it's supposed to have thunderstorms later, and it rained a little bit this morning. Nothing to write home about. I had a bunch of emails to answer for sponsorship stuff and stuff about Freedom Weekend, and I was kind of working on a bunch of stuff, and I needed to shoot some more footage for today for the video that I'm working on to hopefully come out today. We'll see. It's waiting on some other footage that Mike shot, so I don't know if he finished that footage or not, so I'm waiting to get that from him to see. So I may end up putting the video out later. We'll see, but I will get 2 videos out this week if it kills me, which it might, because we don't know. But I was working on the porch out here a little bit. I was moving some of the porch furniture, and since we did the gravel in the driveway here and extended it, the porch swing was right through the walk through there. And so Mike decided that he didn't want the porch swing there anymore because that was going to be the pass through. I think it might have been better for us to put like a couple paver stones and come through and like walk through this way. Which you guys can't see that because I'm pointing. I just realized that. But I'll show you guys real quick. So right about over here where that pillar is, where that walk-through is, I was thinking if you put a paver stone kind of on that side, like a couple paver stones, and kind of be able to walk through there would maybe be better. Just because I like having the porch swing there. But, and then I was going to put this porch swing on this side right here, but he didn't like it there. He thinks it's too far away from everything. So, which I disagree, but whatever. So he wants it right in the center here, right across from me, which is where my big hostas are. And I don't really think that it's a good idea to put the porch swing there because it's going to hit the hostas. And I don't want to have to move all of these, but I'm going to have to, but I can't move them now. I'm going to have to wait and dig them up and move them and hope that they do okay over there. I don't know. I don't know. But it is what it is. So anyway, he's going to re-screw those there. And I had to take all my hanging plants down to move everything, and I'm going to have to move them over here, the hanging plants on this side, and put one, I think, down there too, which is fine. And I moved Bunko's thing closer to the door so that I could make another little seating area over here where I was going to put the porch swing, and then obviously it's kind of crowded right now because I have all the plants there and stuff. But in the process of moving everything, we found all the wasp nests. So you guys may remember last year, I painted the ceiling that haint blue to keep the bugs out and keep the wasps from making nests. And it's been working great. But however, and I can tell you it's all happened in the last like 2 weeks that they've made all these nests because I had moved the furniture before that. So they made one in my planter, and when I went to grab the planter, apparently they attacked my thumb and they just kept stinging. And luckily they were little wasps. They weren't like the big juicy red ones that were on a couple other pieces that I moved today that didn't get me, thank goodness. But they lit me up. I actually got footage of that. So, because I was rolling when that happened. So that'll be in an upcoming video, either today's video or I might try to get it out Wednesday instead, which I normally try not to post a video on Wednesdays because we have our live on Wednesday nights. So we'll see. Is what it is. But that being said, I'll get it out at some point. It'll happen. But it was, yeah, I screamed like a little girl because at first it wasn't bad. And then it kept like, and I didn't look down, like I looked down enough to see what it was for it to register, but then I didn't like stare at it, and I was trying to shake them off my hand. But I have a feeling there was a couple of them because when I looked in there, there was a big nest, and one of the younger or smaller wasps definitely was one of the ones that got me. But now all these big wasps, because I've disturbed all their nests, I sprayed a bunch of them and destroyed the nests. But when I moved the one couch, there was a big nest underneath it. And luckily, when I started to move the chair, like a dozen big red wasps came out, and I just dropped it and walked away. And then I came back and looked to see where exactly it was and all of that. But they got creative because they can't do it on the ceiling like they like to do. They found all kinds of little hidey places out here in the furniture to do their thing. So it was not fun. It was not fun. I did not enjoy. So I was really hoping to complete this project today. There's light bulbs that need changed on the porch that have burned out, and there's one where we had taken the glass down and we have to put the glass back up, but I think I got the right kind of screws for it, but haven't been able to. I need somebody to help because you can't take the glass down. It's a two-person job just because the glass, that's how I broke one of them, was trying to do it by myself, and it, like, when you undo the one screw, the whole thing just comes out. It's not like, oh, I can do this one and hold it, whatever. No, it's a train wreck. So it's really a two-person job. So I'm going to have probably Frankie help me with that at some point this week and try to get these lights on the porch all fixed. And then, finish getting the porch swing hung in the right spot here, or the spot that Mike wants it in, which means also that I need to move my hummingbird feeders that I just moved. So I got to rearrange some things, is what it is. And I did do some weeding out here, but I didn't finish because I can't wield the weed whacker for very long right now with my hip and my back. And so I pulled some stuff by hand and cut some stuff out that was like saplings and stuff that had started to grow from, when they drop needles or pine cones and whatever. So I got some of that done, but not all of it. So I still have a little bit more cleanup out here to do to make it like pretty. But he had this all ripped apart because he was getting to the water hose back here when he was doing the first half of the pressure washer thing. So still need to get that finished, but he was working on the wall in the shop. It's about, well, I honestly don't know if it's halfway done or partway done. I'm honestly not sure because I don't know if it's supposed to be the whole length of the wall or part of the wall that he's building. Because I'm not real clear on that whole vision, to be honest. That's sort of his project that he decided to do, and I don't really know. There's not been a lot of discussion about it. It's just that he's adding the breaker box, and that in order to do that and have the shop have its own power, he had to build this wall. But I don't know how big the wall has to be, or how, like, if it's the entire length of that one side of the shop or not. So if that's the case, he's only like a third of the way done. If it's just the one section, then he's almost done. I have no idea. We'll see. But the wasps are out, and they love hanging out on the porch, which is, not exciting for me. Like, I'm watching them just buzz around right now. I'm like, I already got lit up once today. I don't need to get lit up again. But once I get this done, I'll feel better. At least I wanted to get this completely completed today, but with having to stop because of all the issues with the wasps that we ended up having, it took a lot longer. And then Frankie got pulled to go work on some stuff in the garden. So I lost my helper. And some of the stuff I just can't do, like the light bulbs, by myself. So I'm like, well, I didn't get to finish that task, but it is what it is. So maybe tomorrow we can finish it. But I got a decent amount done out here today. And I moved the goats today. I put them in with the birds to let them clean up some of the grass, and there were some trees that were growing out there, little saplings that would have just been bush hogged if they had been anywhere else, but the goats were eating them, and just kind of clearing out some of the stuff that the birds aren't really eating in the areas they're not really eating. So the goats kind of help clear some of that stuff out over there. So they were there. I just moved them back a little bit ago. They actually figured out how to get out. not through the electric fence, but there's a pull, like a string pull on the inside of the gate that we use to go into the run. And they discovered that, pulled it, opened it, let some of the birds out, and they were out. So Frankie went back out there a little while ago, and she was like, Mom, the goats are all out. And I was like, all of them? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, where are they? And she's like, they're right in front of the chicken coop. They didn't go far. They didn't go far. They were like right there. But so I just picked up their feeder, and it was empty, but they just followed me with the feeder all the way back to their pen, and I just put them back up. And so that was fun. I was like, oh, please don't let them be in the garden, because I'll never hear the end of it. So I now know that I have to take the safety latch off or re-tie it around the front or something when they're in there so they can't undo the latch. Because the electric fence keeps them in, and they're happy enough with all the stuff they have in there that they weren't trying to get out. They just happened to be playing with the string on the latch and managed to get it open, and then it was like just walk through. So which I don't know why it didn't occur to me before, but I should have, that they could have done that. But it is what it is. Live and learn, right? And what else? Man, just kind of a whirlwind of stuff trying to get done, trying to get everything finished. And I feel like I know I'm behind on videos because I only put one video out last week for on 3 Mississippi. And not that we're not doing stuff, but we're doing such weird little odds and ends stuff that sometimes we're not filming because it's weird things or I don't even know, like just weird little bits and pieces of stuff. So I try to be better about filming some of that stuff, but some of it happens when I'm not around because like Mike had taken care of some stuff when I was editing another video, and he didn't film any of that. So it's hard to be in all the places at once sometimes. So sometimes I have to say to him, I need you to film what you're doing because I can't be there right now. You know, I have to edit this, or I have to be working on this and filming it. So, you know, he has to go out and film it, but we'll see. So did get quite a bit of things done this week. The garden's looking so much better. And Frankie's out there working on it right now. And he worked on it a lot the last 2 days. And then, you know, got some of the cleanup done. I did a couple burn piles. I cleaned out the garage. Mostly. There's half, not quite half, but a chunk of the garage has a bunch of Mike's boxes in it from when we moved that have just been kind of relocated around the garage at different stages for different things. And I had kind of gone through them and repacked and stacked them for him, but then he had gone through them. So they're kind of like a mess right now. And he needs to go through it to see like if there's anything that he does want to get rid of, or if it's stuff from that he does want to keep. I don't know. But he said that part of this wall that he's building is going to have like a rafter on top, so he can put his boxes up there, which will eliminate it out of the garage. Part of the thing was the garage is sort of supposed to be, I guess, more the house slash my area, and then the shop is supposed to be his. But I told him, I was like, I do need like one area. Like it doesn't need to be a giant area, but I need like one area in the shop for my feed and animal stuff. The wasps are just everywhere, guys. And right now they're kind of scattered. And I'm like, I just want one corner, but he's kind of reorganized things separately for now, and especially right now because he's working on building that wall. So everything is off that wall. And I guess he is going all the way across, because that would explain why he took everything off of that wall, because he had built like a tool rack and a bench and he moved all of it. So he must be going across that whole wall. But anyway, that being said, once he gets those boxes out of the garage, that will make a big difference in the usability of the garage, because right now, once he finishes this whole electric thing, the other freezer, the stand-up freezer, and I think he's going to put one of the other freezers that's in the garage out there too, I think. I'm not sure. And that's all going to be over there, which will be nice because that'll free up some space in the garage. And then I've got, you know, like some of our pantry items in there on racks. So that'll be good. And eventually when the coop is finished after this season of, you know, birds nesting and whatever, I didn't want to disturb everybody while they were hatching out eggs, but once that's finished, then we can, we're going to extend the coop section a little bit, making the storage side a little bit smaller. And that'll have all my stuff on that side. Eventually, that's the goal. And then I won't have to have, in theory, really anything in the shop for the animals. If I don't know if it's going to be big enough for everything, for the feed and tack and all of that, but we'll see. I don't think that space is going to be big enough. I think I'm still going to have to keep a few things in the shop. Because my thing was I rather keep everything together. Like I rather have the plucker and the, you know, all the things that are even things that we only use, you know, a few times a year, but that are animal related. I like it all to be in one spot. But I don't think it's gonna be. But hopefully I'll be able to at least have one corner where I can have a few of those things in the shop, because I just need a little bit. I just need a little bit of it for that stuff. So we'll see. But I did get that new refrigerator out there. So, which isn't plugged in right now. He did plug it in, make sure it worked and everything, and got cold and all that. But once we get the electric fixed out there and the other freezer moved, which I don't know if that'll happen before Freedom Weekend at this point. I really don't. He was going to really try to finish that wall this weekend, but to have the electric company come out either today or tomorrow, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know if it will be done before Freedom Weekend. We shall see. I know that he's really trying to do that. I just don't know if it's going to be feasible. So we'll see how it goes. We do have a cool thing coming up, potentially with a backup generator that's going to go in the shop when we do the rewire. So that'll be potentially really cool, because that'll mean that even if we're without power, the freezers and fridge out there, we can transfer all our stuff to, and the things that are out there that would be the majority of, like, you know, our deer meat and our chicken and all those things that we process that are going to be out there would be able to still be kept cold. And we don't get a lot of power outages during the summer. Generally, we'll get like little flickers. But when we have the power outages is usually in the winter, when there's ice storms and things like that. We'll have, you know, several hours or a day maybe where there's not power. So not like a super long time, and not when it's hot. So that helps, you know, obviously to keep everything cold longer when it's, you know, 6 degrees outside and there's ice on the ground. You're not as worried about your perishables as you are if it were to go out due to a really bad like thunder and rainstorm in the midst of the summer. So that being said, we'll see how much we can get done before Freedom Weekend. There is just a lot and the clock is ticking, and I'm a little nervous about, you know, getting everything done that I want to get done around here. And hopefully getting the electric done, but we'll see. We'll see. We can only do so much, and then some of it we're at the whim of the power company to do the final piece of it, and the actual like switch over. So we'll have to see how it goes. We'll have to see how it goes. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it'll all happen. So we'll see. But that's all I got for you today, guys. I gotta go see if Mike's got that footage for me and if I can start working on that video. And I'm just watching all these giant red wasps fly around me, and I might try to spray 1 or 2 of them before I go inside. So there you have it. That's a big one right there. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. And as always, stay blessed and safety's off.